A.T. Smith joins me now. He is a former deputy director of the Secret Service and a CBS News consultant. Good morning to you, sir. During last night's CBS News special report, CBS News contributor and former DHS official Sam Vinograd called this shooting a, quote, intelligence and operational failure. Right after the shots, we're going to show you video here. You can see the former president's face and arm exposed at times. We see those Secret Service agents rushing around him, but we see his face right there. Do you agree with Sam Vinograd's assessment?
Not completely. I mean, there will be a lot of information that will come out of this investigation. And also, as I said last night, if you watch the reaction of the agents, this is what they train to do day in and day out. First of all, to cover and protect the protectee, which is what they did when they had the former president on the ground there to make sure they could assess him medically and make sure that, you know, there wasn't anything more than we now know had occurred. They do that deliberately because sometimes rushing off stage can further injure someone. So in terms of that, they are covering and evacuating. That's what they're trained to do. In terms of what your previous guest said, there will be certain things come out in the investigation, I'm sure, and there will be criticisms. So at that point, the Secret Service will self-evaluate. As I've said, there's no agency or no individuals more harsh on themselves than the Secret Service. So we'll have to wait until the investigation is complete and see what comes out of that. But there's a lot more information yet to come, I'm sure.
And a witness told BBC News he saw a man bear crawling up the building where the shots came from and alerted law enforcement. Another witness told CBS News they also saw the gunman and tried to alert officers. What does that tell you?
That is an indication that there was some sort of a shortcoming or a failure. So again, we'll have to see how that plays out. The way that security is designed for an event like this, if you think in terms of 3 concentric circles, you have an outer perimeter, a middle perimeter, and an inner perimeter, the inner being closest to the protectee, and that's what you saw with the agents who surrounded him. There is also another team, the counter sniper team, and their responsibility is for that area beyond that outer perimeter, up to 1,000 yards, quite frankly, and what their job is to detect and to look for a long-range shot. Obviously, this individual had gotten up on top of this building. It was outside the perimeter that I'm talking about. And that will have to be determined as to whether something blocked their view initially, but in terms of people trying to alert law enforcement that he was there, that should have been responded to. But you do have to remember these things happen in a split second or in a very few seconds. So a lot of that will come in the investigation. I'm sure the Bureau will do a very thorough job as far as tracking and the time frames that we're talking about to connect all of this. But we'll see.
I don't have a lot of time with you, but I want to ask you one last question because we had a witness on earlier. She says her car was parked near where the shooter is believed to have been. She didn't know it at the time, and she says their car wasn't stopped. They weren't questioned. Is that unusual?
If it's in close proximity, certainly, and inside or close to that perimeter I'm talking about, that car should have been checked and should have been probably looked at. On the other hand, if it was outside the perimeter, it may not have been. If folks like the witness have concerns, you know, the FBI has set up a toll-free number where you can call in and report things like that, and I know that this is the kind of information they will want to hear. It's 1-800-CALL-FBI, and so anyone who has information that maybe has not yet spoken to law enforcement, or again, something slipped through the crack yesterday, I would encourage them to call.
A.T. Smith, thank you.